I'm not sure if I should release this yet, but I think this is where I can honor a man who seemed to truly care about his craft and audience. And while he was taken away from us too soon, I believe it's important to remember what he gave this world. The story starts back on June 7th, 1962 in Baltimore, when Lance was born. Early life for Lance was not easy in a social sense, with the feeling of being an outsider ever present. Going to a private school that was predominantly white, his fellow students would always seem as different. Music and television would end up being his escape and what kept him going throughout school, though this feeling of being an outsider never really left him even after becoming a well-loved actor.
Once I got to junior high and high school, it was predominantly white, predominantly upper middle class.
Okay.
And so I always felt like, to white people, I represented something, this black person, that to me, I was just Lance. I wasn't my race. And to black people, as soon as they heard me talk, I was something other than black.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I always felt like
I
just always felt like I never fit anywhere.
While acting wasn't his focus early on, it was always a casual passion, with it originating in English class studying Macbeth and would stick with him throughout his life. During his tertiary education, he would go on to study music with a focus on classical composition. Going on to earn a Bachelor of Music, Lance would go on to move to Boston in pursuit of a pop career. Though like many in pursuit of fame, he had to work numerous day jobs to get by, but it was one particular day job he would receive an injury which put him out for weeks. During this time, he would reevaluate his life and realize what he was doing wasn't working. This in turn would send him down the path of acting out of desperation. This would result in small gigs in a place at Yale studying drama. He would have many successes and failures, and would come to the conclusion there isn't a universal set of standards. Ultimately, how great of an actor you are depends on how you work with your strengths and weaknesses. He would go on to complete a Master of Fine Arts in 1994. Lance's initial rise in prominence began when he was casted as the character Cedric Daniels in The Wire. This was arguably one of the greatest television shows of the 2000s, though his career never exploded like many other actors would have. After an onslaught of auditions, his career would start to pick up with roles in Lost, CSI, Fringe, White House Down, and of course John Wick. Though a successful on-screen actor, this wouldn't stop him from voice acting, with the largest role being Commander Zavala from Destiny, though he also had notable roles in Payday 2, Quantum Break, 50 Cent Blood and Sand, and Rick and Morty. Throughout his career though, there was an ever-present battle with systematic racism, as Lance puts it best.
Well, for me, I'd always known that there was racism in the business, but I always thought that the level of my work would rise above it. And that was the first time I saw how entrenched and how deep the racism was. Because it wasn't just me dealing with it, it was like us dealing with it. We were the lead into The Sopranos. We were on at the same time as The Sopranos and 6 Feet Under and Entourage and Sex and the City. All those shows were getting award nominations up the ass, and it was like crickets.
March 17, 2023. Lance would sadly pass away from natural causes at age 60. The news of his passing would send shockwaves throughout the community, with fellow co-workers paying tribute and Destiny players gathering around his in-game character, saluting him in honor. And I believe this comment from a fan sums up what he meant to the community. Lance brought so much depth to every piece of media he touched. Although I had first met him as Zavala, I quickly grew to appreciate all of his works and what he had done for so many communities. Remember to keep your eyes up, Guardians. And Keanu's emotional statement shows the impact he had on the co-workers.
Yeah, Lance was a beautiful person, a special artist, a man of grace and dignity, and such a passion for his craft. And to have the chance to work with him over the 10 years and 4 films is something that very special to me, and fucking sucks he's not here.
While I personally never watched any of his movies, I was a huge fan of his from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Castlevania, Destiny, and Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm not really sure how to end this video, but if there's one takeaway we can all have. In a Reddit AMA, a Redditor by the name of Lucid Popsicle asks, what drives you to be so compassionate? And his answer was, we die, and we all need all the help we can get.